Kaizer Chiefs have reached an agreement with the Portuguese club to sign Nkanyiso Shinga. We are going to talk about Jessica Mdown taking shots at the South African transfer market, basically the teams. We are also going to talk about him because it turns out Kickoff were inaccurate with their reporting because SAPC have reported that Ndlovu is soon going to be cosified. And Faisal Salum, it looks like it's definitely not coming to Kaizer Chiefs. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. So today we start with a report from Far Post, who Mthokozisi Dube has reported indeed that Kaizer Chiefs have reached an agreement with the Portuguese club that Nkanyiso Shinga currently plays for the player to come to Kaizer Chiefs. More on him, he had 1 year actually remaining on his contract, so he is not a free agent. He still had a year remaining on his contract, and now Kaizer Chiefs have signed him. And number two, his transfer is pending medical finalization and personal terms. So we know that when it comes to personal terms, that's not usually a problem for Kaizer Chiefs because they do pay their players well. We know this, it's well established. And also Kaizer Chiefs are trying to finalize this deal before they travel to Netherlands. So that means they will have a situation whereby they will, they're trying to wrap this up as quickly as possible so that it can come this side. Maybe it's already this side because the season is off, and then he will travel with the team. Which then brings us to the second thing. And it's one, the fact that Kaizer Chiefs will be playing Utrecht. Well, they start on the 8th of July against Vitesse, who play in the Eredivisie. They will play Utrecht, who also play in the Eredivisie. NEC Nijmegen on the 12th. Eredivisie, PEC Zwolle, and FC20. So the games are on the 8th, the 11th, the 12th, the 15th, and the 16th of July. So that's Kaizer Chiefs' preseason pretty much before they come back to South Africa on the 19th. And on top of that, Jessica Mdown. Jessica Mdown has just blasted the transfer market. It's not the transfer market. Let me say it again. Kaizer Mdown has basically just attacked every South African team. Well, not all of them. Those who refuse to sell to Kaizer Chiefs, because a journalist asked her, Kaizer Chiefs are known to not pay, things like that. I'm paraphrasing. And she responds that she thinks that Kaizer Chiefs pay really well. This is a ridiculous notion that they don't pay. And then she continued to say that, hey, actually, the South African market must look at itself because some of the prices that the teams are asking for, are they fair? So there are two ways to view this. Number one is the fact that, yeah, they have the right to charge whatever they want to charge because they are selling their own asset here. But at the same time, there's also those rumors that prices do change when Kaizer Chiefs try to buy a player. But now the thing is, why is it only Kaizer Chiefs who are treated like this? Why not Pirates? Why not Sundowns? Because we've heard stories of Sundowns overpaying. So why are we saying that teams overcharge Kaizer Chiefs while the likes of Sundowns overpay? You understand me? So maybe we can talk about players in South Africa are ridiculously expensive, but the notion of it's just targeting Kaizer Chiefs, I'm refusing to buy it. However, what I will say is that Kaizer Chiefs have identified the problem. They've identified that the South African market is not good for them because they try to buy players and they end up not getting them. So if you look at the players that Kaizer Chiefs are linked with or have bought, for example, Chislet from abroad, the striker Usilva abroad, there are talks of Abu Mihlali Mayambela. You see that they are looking abroad and they are trying to get those players, and it seems like it's promising than the players that are in South Africa. For example, they've been linked with Apolis for 6-9 months now and nothing has happened. We are seeing more movement with the players who are coming from outside the country. So maybe Jessica and the management team are looking at something that we do not see. So I'm just going to leave it there. Which brings me to, you can subscribe to the channel because it is free. You can just click on the subscribe button there, guys. We're trying to get to 60,000, so do make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you have done that, well, you're a real one because, well, yeah, we're gonna grow. Which then brings us to the next topic for today, and that is Ndlovu. Specifically Ndlovu. You know, the story about Ndlovu that we covered yesterday was the fact that Chiefs are not interested in Ndlovu. But as it turns out, according to SABC, they have reported that actually Kaizer Chiefs have opened talks, formal talks with SuperSport United to sign Specifically Ndlovu. Shocker, right? Because you think that, okay, they have enough defensive midfielders or central midfielders because Ndlovu is a 6/8, right? So then you're like, why are they signing another one on top of Mart, on top of on top of Umthetho? You know, they have players in that position and they have enough depth, yet here they are signing Ndlovu. This was until I read that article, because the article continues to say that actually Ndlovu was about to come to an end of his contract. If you go to Transfer Market, you'll see that his contract expires in June 30, 2025. But SuperSport United saw this and then they triggered their option to extend his contract. So now Kaizer Chiefs have to pay to get him. And given the fact that SuperSport United are for sale, apparently SABC Sports are also insisting that those talks have not gone anywhere. SuperSport United are still pretty much for sale. That means a player might want to go away from there because they do not know what the new owners will be thinking of him as a player and everyone else. So there's that instability. But also, what I also do know is that when teams are trying to sell clubs, they want to make them as attractive as possible. So how do you make a club as attractive as possible? You make sure that running the club is going to be not expensive, right? So you move on some of the players that were earning high salaries. And you look at Ndlovu, he's an experienced player and is probably one of the players who are getting high salaries. So that might be the reason why SuperSport will also be open to talking to Chiefs. And SABC Sports are also reporting that Ndlovu, the negotiations are very much advanced and the player himself wants to come to Kaizer Chiefs. So yeah, that is happening. Which then brings us to Faisal Feitoto Salum, because that's what people have been asking about a lot. Oh, Mpilo, tell us what is happening with Faisal Salum. Well, nothing really. Like if you go on Google, search Faisal Salum and check the news, there's been nothing about Salum to Chiefs. Nobody who is, like, what can I say? The established trusted sources about Itiski Times, about Fapost, about Unplayable. None of the guys are saying anything about, you know, Faisal Salum as it stands. So looking at how Chiefs are moving in the transfer market, and given the fact that it seems like they would have to pay something for him, that makes me think they are not getting this player. I know. So if you wanted him, I'm sorry to disappoint you, because it does not look like this is happening. You can support the channel by going to your bank account, entering that account number, and transferring however much that you'd like to support the channel. This is to help the channel grow. This is to help the channel get better. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, there we go. Bank FNB account number 629187342220. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpilo Moy.